Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today is 8/28, which is a Friday. If you've noticed, we took a few days off. We were remodeling. It was really important, and we may have to take another few days off after this. Today, I am joined by my guest, TK. He is a term that I just coined, a veteran, which means a Fediverse veteran, and also a master of the Nether realm. So, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. Glad to be on.
Yeah, so you were telling me before we set up that I was concerned, that it was a little early for you, but you said you've been up since 4 o'clock. What's up with that?
So, it first started out uh, probably around college, but became more earlier and earlier as I started working because I wanted to avoid people before work. Riding empty buses back when I was living on pretty far, but now I live in the city. I'm just riding my bike to work, and well, before the pandemic hit, and then I had the option of riding in when it was dark, no traffic, and at this point, it lets me do a lot of work before folks come on, which is when I'm my most productive. And on weekends, it lets me do stuff before people are awake. Like this morning, I went on a little bike ride too, and let's see.
What kind of work are you trying to get done?
This is software. I work as a software engineer.
Yeah, what do you what class software do you do? Are you like a necromancer, like a JavaScript developer? Tell me a little bit about that.
It's cloud side stuff
Cloud
in
side.
Java enough.
I heard the cloud didn't exist. Is that true?
Cloud is cloud is just computers that you don't know that are there.
Mm. So it should be more like Shroud, right?
That's actually a good way to put it.
Thanks.
But they probably didn't want to go that route because it sounds too mysterious.
Well, I think that's probably appropriate, considering that no one really knows who has access to the shroud, right?
Oh, certainly.
Um, so I met you several years ago. I guess we're going on four. I don't know, 3 or 4.
It'd be more than 4, just a little bit.
On the Fediverse, and you like I mentioned, you are a veteran, which you've been there for a long time. So, you want to talk a little bit about your experience there, if you'd like. You don't have to, because I actually have a quiz today too. So feel free.
Sure, I'll just give a few points here, I guess. I don't want to go too far into the weeds with
Yeah.
it. Um, I first joined around 2009, 2010, back when Identica was the primary instance. The guy, Evan P., I forgot his whole last name, he moved on to the projects other than GS or StatusNet since then. GS was the predecessor to the Fediverse. Everyone called GS initially because it was pretty much the only thing running the protocols.
Yeah.
Um, it was. Oh, sorry. Go
No, no,
ahead.
no. Continue, please. Tell me.
The early days, all up until early 2016, it was pretty quiet. Mostly folks who were unable to unable to have a voice on more popular platforms. A lot of people in free software and so on, and it's pretty similar to Diaspora, the way Diaspora still is today. And that's a related project that runs the old Fediverse protocols. Going too far into that, but around 2016, anyone who was around at that time, Twitter was enacting new policies a couple of different times, and it caused a bunch of people to flood to this other service, GS at the time. Mastodon actually started after I joined the Fediverse and rejoined the Fediverse in 2016. I was sort of out of it for a long time. I came back because friend issues. That's not that important, but
Yeah.
actually, one last thing. I had a Rainbow Dash. So back in the Identica days, Rainbow Dash network, which is probably not too well known now, but it's had issues federating even back as far as 2010. It was even worse than in 2016.
I didn't
And
even know
I
it still
created an account.
existed.
Oh,
Is
it's
it still
still
around?
there. It's still up.
Are they
It's still up.
siloed to their own little ecosystem now?
At this point, yes, because they don't federate with anything modern. I still have my account from 2009 or 2010 there.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's yeah. One last thing on that, but some folks from Rainbow Dash Network ended up migrating elsewhere, although some of them seem to not. be present as much as they used to be anymore.
Yeah, people aren't as present as they used to be. You know what I mean? So we're all kind of just gravitating towards wherever we feel like people will agree with us most. And that's what the Fediverse is all about. Trying to find people that think just like you. Apparently.
Yeah, social media.
So I have a game for you today. And it's basically it's another quiz game, and it's going to determine whether or not we do future podcasts. I'm surprised nobody in the audience has noticed that I am not actually eating honeycomb today. Today I'm eating life, and it tastes like ass, because it's been sitting here for in a bowl about 20 minutes before we started the show, and I poured milk in stupidly like an idiot. So I'm eating these Pop Tarts while I stall. I don't think I'm gonna finish this sludge. So the show I've got for you, or the game I've got to you today, as you know, I'm all about the three Bs, and those are bikes, beards, and bots.
Oh no.
Yep. So I got a little quiz show, a little quiz game about bikes, beards, and bots. You know, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
If you win, I don't have to keep doing this, and if you lose, well, we'll have to figure out what happens.
Oh no.
So so sorry, not to interrupt you, but I'm gonna just start off with a pretty simple question about bicycles. You like bikes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not the question, though it is a
Oh
question.
no, it
Yeah.
isn't.
Yeah. How long have you been riding bikes?
Oh, is that the first question?
No, it's an
Oh.
aside. Sorry.
I actually learned how to ride a bike 2011, and then I started doing long like century, 100-mile plus rides. The longest one was from Seattle to Vancouver, 21 hours.
Wow. What's your favorite part about riding cross country? Or
Seeing all the scenery is a big part. I love photography. The challenges of riding up hills, not the super steep ones, but the ones that are a good challenge. One of my favorites, like riding from all the way up from a town called Skykomish on the Skykomish River, oddly enough, all the way up to Stevens Pass, which is about over 5,000 feet high. Wait, no, sorry, over 3,000 feet high. 5,000 feet high, something I've done too. But yeah, that's a challenge too.
yeah. So I wanted to call the game like the four Bs. Bikes, beards, bots, and botography. But photography is not a real thing.
Not yet, anyway.
No, but I meant photography. So you take a lot of pictures too on these trips, right?
Yeah, initially it was a way to share where I was with friends on Google Plus, which is another throwback.
Yeah,
I was
Google Plus
huge
was fun.
and a lot of bronies on there. They're in the early days. There's a lot of cyclists up until the end.
I should have made it the five Bs and thrown Brony on there and asked you a couple of questions. Jeez.
Oh no, I wouldn't get any of those right.
You just knew a lot of Bronies.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a big thing back in 2011.
sure, it certainly was.
I am getting Pop-Tart crumbs all over my giant mouse pad, which is distressing. Okay, the first question of the game: how many Americans regularly ride bicycles?
Oh no.
You can throw out a percentage or a number. I'll take either. Just guess.
10%.
No, that's pretty close. It's actually like about 12.5%. So, yeah, pretty close. And so on that front, do you think that the minority, which are bike riders versus everyone else, should have as much say about where they ride their bikes than where people run into them with their cars?
Oh, that's a loaded question. The thing is, like, when you have a small minority group, that's a group of so-called experts. It's kind of like, who do you really trust? The majority, or the people who are actually familiar with the topic? And personally, I would say that if you're on a bike, you should probably have a say in where you ride, but you should try to not have too much of an impact on those around you. That's generally my philosophy. Like, I try to stay in the shoulders, try to stay as far to the right as possible and not get in the way, because I understand about, we can't go as fast.
Yeah. Interesting. So we'll say you've got one right. Next, I've got a bot question for you, and this stems from the fact that for a long time on the Fediverse, you were making bots of everyone. I think you were trying to replace us at the end of the day, but I'm not going to necessarily, I'm not gonna say that you are. So the first bot question is: this bot, this famous cartoon bot, helped cause the cancer known as anime.
Ooh. I think it has something to do with Neon Genesis and Evangelion.
It's far earlier than this. This is a historical cartoon.
Oh,
bot.
Astro Boy.
Yes, that's right. It's Astro Boy. Thank you, Astro Boy, for the reality we now are forced to live in. So, where did your interest in making these bots come from? Just a small little hobby project that you've been doing, or are you fascinated by Markov, or talk a little bit about that.
I think it's a combination of both. I think it all stems from how quiet the Fediverse can be during, at least in the early times, during certain hours of the day. When I'm online, it's like I want more content. And then I ended up creating the original Markov, which is long gone because my old instance is long gone.
Yeah.
From that, and I just started refining it, and it ended up being pretty popular for a long time. I would say more popular than the current incarnation. The logic's a little different. But it's also fun, you have an idea for something. Hey, I have this idea. I want to, put it together and see how it goes. I'm sure Moonman, who working on all of his projects, has the same feeling driving what he's doing.
Yeah, I bet he does. I've spoken to him. He's a maniac. All right, I got a beard question for you. You still have a beard these days? Do you know? I mean, or did you have a beard?
Maybe I still have one.
Okay, cool. You've got a. I'm not trying to reveal too much about you, but I remember historically when we met, it was very big, nice, styled beard. As I don't know. So I have a question for you. What are the top 3 most popular beard styles? And you can just describe them because no one's gonna know the actual name of them, and unless you do.
Oh, I certainly don't. The mustache alone would count as one of them.
The which one?
Just a mustache, no beard. Does that count?
Sure, that counts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my dad has actually. Is goatee one of them?
Sort of. The circle beard is one of them, which is basically it's basically what people think of as the goatee. It's like what Dante had in Clerks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My cousin has one where he shaves everything down except for just on the neck.
Oh, a neck beard?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I bet those are pretty popular. There's actually a couple of different things. This is a really hard question to answer because it's going to be completely subjective, right? And I don't know. There's probably circles where there's professional beard enthusiasts where they sit there and they sit around the sink and they think about, oh man, if I just shave right here, this is really going to make an impressive, difference of my day-to-day life. But I mean, I had pictures I was going to pull up, but I didn't set it up properly. It's just a bunch of big beards and variants of goatees. So it's kind of a lame question, but I'm glad that you were here to answer it. How would you say you style yours? Do you go for the big bushy thing, or do you sit there and you think, okay, well, I need to cut 45-degree angle to make sure I've got a Spartan thing going on?
These days, if I had the energy in the world the way it is, I would just be cleaning my cheeks up because they tend to grow some fuzz, and neither my partner nor I like how that looks. So if I need to be presentable, that's what I'd take care of. But aside from that, I just let it grow. For a while, I was trimming out my mustache, but then now I just sort of let it grow long, just let it go, and just brush out my mouth periodically and let it maybe someday I'll have a handlebar mustache. Who knows?
Okay. Yeah, I get that Logan Weapon X facial hair in my eyeballs, so I gotta keep it clean. Our next question is another bot question. This bot helped Dave get lost in space.
How?
Yeah, that was easy, but I wanted to make sure that we had an excuse to keep going. on this podcast. So I was trying to find a question about bikes being like, what are the most expensive bikes? And just doing that search and like trying to find this stuff, there's a lot of like art bikes that are sold in auction, right? And that doesn't count. I was trying to find the most expensive retail bikes, and one brand kept popping up. Do you have any idea what that brand could be?
Pinarello?
I mean, I don't know.
It could be Cervelo, it could be Trek, honestly. But
I saw a lot of Santa Cruz bikes that were like $15,000.
Ooh, yeah, those are very high-end mountain bikes, and I believe they have tandems too.
So what's the difference in mountain bikes, or what does the gear do? As an idiot, I'm not entirely aware of what a bike does. Like what the difference. I know what a bike does. I know how to ride it, but I'm just curious. Like, why don't I just leave my bike without gears, or why do I need different speeds or whatever?
Well, to answer that question specifically, and I'll tag something on at the end, it basically makes it easier or harder to pedal than in the simplest terms. It's really a physics question. It's about mechanical advantage. Like a higher gear gives you lower mechanical advantage, I believe, so you go faster, but it's harder. But a lower gear gives you more mechanical advantage, which means you can't go as fast, but it's easier. So if you're climbing a hill, you want to be in a lower gear, more mechanical advantage. But if you're going downhill, you want to be in a higher gear with lower mechanical advantage, so you can go faster.
Okay.
And the other thing I was going to say, a lot of people have single speed bikes. It's a question of finding the right gear ratio. You just pick one that works for everything you want to do, and you just stick with it. You can change your gears. You can replace the cogs on it to change the ratio, but that's a lot more work than just flipping a shifter, a little lever.
Interesting. I want to comment real quick that Bricky had said that I'm rubbing my nuts on stream, and I feel like I need to clarify that I am wearing very large millennial pants. I'm not sure if you're aware of what these are, but they're the joggers. Have you seen these before? They're the ones that all the millennials and Zoomers wear. They are basically like sweatpants with pockets, and they go way too low. So my crotch actually isn't where it looks like it is. I was actually just trying to get the crumbs off of me, and I just grabbed it a second ago. I just did it again, just to reference what Bricky was talking about. It's not really an interesting fact, but I just wanted to make sure that people understood that I'm not grabbing my physical crotch. I'm only grabbing the crotch of my pants to get the Pop-Tart crumbs off of me, because I didn't eat the cereal because it's disgusting. And on that note, I'd say that you have won the quiz. You got through all of these. I wish I had a prize for you. I guess the prize is that we get to live to see another day. So that's great.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to have to wrap it up because, I typically try to make these last pretty short period of time. And I normally finish a bowl of cereal, but today the bowl of cereal has become mush. It is absolutely disgusting. But you know what wasn't disgusting? What you brought to the table today. And I appreciate you being here. And I hope we get to talk again soon. Is there anything you'd like to share with the people out there before we go?
Two things. One, I'm not going to punish you by making you drink that.
Okay, thank God. Yeah. I wasn't even going to ask the question today, but you got me. You caught me. Thank you. I can't drink it.
And two, hopefully there will be another GSCon so we can see each other in person again someday.
I am sure that we will have a grand reunion after certain circumstances allow people to meet in real life again.
Yeah.
Well, TK, it's been a pleasure. Have a great day, and we will talk soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I'll talk to you later.
Farewell.